In 2015, I went over to Spain to do some mountaineering with Wim Hof. Okay, this wasn't because I wanted a podcast. I didn't have any social media. I just went over there because I'd heard this guy, Wim, contacted him, somehow arranged a trip for myself. And I went over there and we did some crazy, dangerous mountaineering that I had no business doing. Almost ripped my left leg off in a stunt that was organized by others there that I never should have done. In any case, one day, I look and Wim is like crouched on the ground next to like a curb in this parking lot before a hike. He's down there on the ground with a little stick. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, look. And there were ants climbing up this thing. And he's like, they're mountaineering this curb. And I thought, oh, this guy's different, right? But then I realized we were about to do the same thing up this big face. And I thought, wow, like he's able to think at these different scales and see similarities. I thought, that's pretty cool. I would have never stopped to look there. And I still remember it, right? And was it profound? No. Was it interesting? Yeah, in the sense that things are happening at all scales all the time. And we think we know the scale to pay attention to, and we think that that's the one that matters most. And I think it's fair to say that in a gunfight, like there is a scale that matters most, but new options, new perspectives actually come from that broader field of view, which is what you're describing. And later that day, it's interesting because this group going up, some of them were really challenged in the climb. And Wim went back to this example of how the ants would stack on top of one another. And he used an analogy from that to help people through this climb. And there was a beautiful pool at the top, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I think that these examples are in fact meaningful, especially the ones that you gave, because they don't just relate to military. I mean, you can imagine around the dinner table. I've had this, kids are there and partners there. And sometimes it's really nice to sit back and just kind of hear it all and bask in it all. But oftentimes, like new information will surface. Like you said, like all I'm hearing is worries out of this person, or they're not even really here. They're all talking about what we're going to do next time. And like you can re-anchor people to like, hey, like maybe let's focus on what we're doing here. Or sometimes people are hyper-focused on what's happening there and they need to think about something in the future. I love this. I need to practice detachment in a number of different domains of my life. One thing that I'm realizing after hearing you describe the process that I really need to do is I need to start taking some time away from my work, maybe even a little bit of time parallel to relationship to sort of get better perspective on it, because I think the problem-solving nature in us really makes us myopic, really makes us nearsighted.